Hey everybody, today's marketing tip is all about finding and exploiting your competitive advantage. Now, I see a lot of teams, they sit down, they've got a lot that they want to do, a lot of initiatives, and they sit down, they're cranking on it. They're making spreadsheets and content, templates, budget, money's flying all over the place, but they haven't really figured out what is the advantage that we have, the leg up that we have that no one else does in terms of our competitors. And you would be shocked at how few teams really have a crystalline sense as to the unfair advantage that they have. Now, I believe every organization has an unfair advantage. It's just that some companies have something that's very obvious, and others you got to work a little harder to figure out and distill what that is. Now, there's a lot of ways to think about this, but the whole point is you don't want to just be busy, doing. You need to be different and be aligned to your own messaging, but you're also looking for a functional strategy that gives you an advantage against folks that are competing against you. All right, so what do I mean? Some examples. Your people, right? A competitive advantage, no one else has the team that you have. So you've got to figure out a way to leverage the story and pedigree of your team and your people into your marketing tactics and strategies, right? That's an obvious one. Budget is one. If you just have tons and tons of money, but no experience and no people, that's a competitive advantage. That's a good thing. I will spend your money and help you spend that money, right? That's a competitive advantage. Your space, the place where you do what you do, your history and your background, the resources that you have in terms of how you do what you're doing, your network, your third-party relationships that you have with organizations, your process. You've got to find a way to drill down until you and your team really feel like you've got a sense as to your unfair advantage in the market compared to your competitors. Now think of it like this. It's sort of like a huge rock, right? And a lot of times marketing and comms feels like this gigantic rock and we want to buff up and just pick up this rock and go for it. But it's much easier to move a heavy rock if you have a fulcrum. And you can take a really long pole, use a fulcrum, and with one hand, you can pick up a really heavy rock where other teams might be trying to gather 20 people together and take a bunch of protein shakes and try to muscle that rock up. So your definition and branding around your competitive advantage, that's the fulcrum that lets you pick up a really big rock. It's just that it takes longer to get that fulcrum figured out and dialed in than it does to just grab a big rock and try to move it. So my challenge to you is find your competitive advantage, figure out what you can exploit in the marketplace that gives you a leg up to the competition, then move into your marketing tactics expend. You'll go a lot farther than if you just start trying to pick up a rock. See you later.